Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Shazia Khan. I am representing UK and Muslim community as well as British community. We just had we had been updated with the news regarding the lockdown is easing off, and a lot of things are happening. The country's moving. I think personally, and I think I've spoken to loads of people who have the similar kind of views on this, that it is too soon for the lockdown to be open up, because there is a second spike that's supposed to be coming in this pandemic. And if the second spike happens, I think it's the reason why it's going to happen is because the lockdown has been eased off. People are more mobile, they are going out, and there is no kind of like stop to something. There is no restriction on many things. The social distance has been cut down to smaller, but this has been, all of that has been done. It's been done without the medical support, medical sort of like evidence to say that we can manage without it. And I think that it's just putting our nation, our children at risk. The schools were open, there were very few people who had sent their children to school, but they put again their children at risk. Majority of the people decided not to send their children to school. It's a good thing that the parents had a choice, but regardless of having a choice or not, I think the state should take the responsibility, and should not have eased off the lockdown as soon as they did, because I think if it had been gradual, it would have been better, and we would have known what we're dealing with, because we are at the, even at now, after so many months, we still don't know what we're dealing with. So the pandemic that is started, which started from China, according to people, some say it's lab made, some say it's man made, some say it's rat made. Who knows where it has come from? But regardless of where it's come from, it's all around the world, obviously, and we all are suffering. The schools are suffering, the children are suffering, the education department is suffering, and the industry, the industry where we actually get the income from, that is suffering. The economy is suffering, and it's a big blow to the whole system, because it's knocked everybody from top to bottom. It doesn't look at the gender, it doesn't look at your nation or your age, or your it doesn't look at the color. The illness is there for anybody, and anybody could be attacked, and anybody could be unfortunately the victim of this COVID-19. And none of us have a clearer picture of when it's going to be over, but it's quite obvious that it's the second spike is coming. And if the government knows that the second spike is coming, and then allowing the pubs to open up, allowing the casinos and clubs and things like this to open up, the restaurants to open up, easing off lots and lots of things, the barbers are opening, and the schools, obviously there's school holidays were falling into place anyway, so the schools are now shutting down, of course, but because of the holidays, not because of the COVID-19. Although they had initially shut down in the beginning, but then they had started to open up, and some years had come out. A few years were to come and do the school, and the others were not allowed to attend the school, but they were trying to do social distancing with that. But I mean, I think young children don't know this social distancing and things like this. This is a new world. Everything is very strange. Even as an adult, to adopt to new things is difficult for us, and then expect a child when they go into schools to adopt things, and new measurements are put in place and things like this. They are not aware of where the boundaries lie. They are not aware that they're not supposed to hug the friends, for example, or hang out with them, and they're not allowed to play with them in the playgrounds and things like this. How can they have social distance from that? Because every child is coming from different family, and of course, if God forbid one child has it, or somebody in the family has it, they can easily pass it to another child, who can easily go home and to pass it to a vulnerable person living in their house. Could be grandmother, could be grandfather, could be mom, dad. They could be suffering with cancer or any other health issues that they might have, and they could be very vulnerable for that. Or babies, the newborn babies, for example, they've not been immunized or anything like this, and or pregnant women. So there is a lot of serious danger, which I think a public has been put under, and a lot of things have happened while the public has been away from all of this hustle bustle and jobs, and their income revenues have been taken away. The social gatherings have been taken away. The weddings and things like this are not taking place, as we all know. In the meantime, obviously, there is a debate that is going on, whether it is something to do with, well, I'm not even going to mention it, because as soon as you start mentioning that, the videos start to come down, or whether it has a big part to play in it, which is the internet, the new technology that's coming up, which is going from 3, 4, and next the generation energy that has been put into place, and lots of things have been put in place in the local areas. If you go down the street, you will see your lights, for example, have been adopted, and there are new towers that have been put up there, and they are used for military based towers, which are, and we are in the middle of it. It's just almost like as if we are in a hub. We're going to be cooked in it once it's all up and running, once it's all there. I wonder why the second wave is coming, whether it's coming because of the social distance is finishing, because the clubs are opening, because the pubs are opening, and because people are going to go eat, meet, greet, and so on, or whether it's the new technology that's come into place. And of course, our immune systems are already suppressed with the kind of food that we have, and then to top it up, we've been put in this hub where there is like, we're going to be roasting from left, right, and center. What is the answer to all of this? The answer is to take care of your health. The answer is to minimize the risk by exposing yourself to all these things, and therefore, yes, still staying at home, yes, still maintaining that safe distance, because we don't know what it is that we're dealing with. We still are in the process of finding new world and new ways of living our lives, and our workplace have been adopting whether they can do it or not, and then lots of places are taking things, at meetings and sectors taking place on Zoom. I think school can start on Zoom for a change, and not put a pressure on the parents to become teachers suddenly, especially for those children whose parents don't have UK education, or the understanding of the curriculum better, and they're not able to help their children, and their children are falling behind. The parents are stressed out about their children's education as well as children's health. And I'm also wondering whether should we be worried about the children's education, or should we just let them be, at least be happy and enjoy this time that they have, and not worry and have the fear of COVID, but at the same time not have the worry and the fear that they are going to fall behind their exams and their studies and their all kinds of education needs and stuff like this. I think the government needs to relook at the kind of support that they're putting into place, and the kind of measurements that they're taking, and putting the public at risk. This is a direct threat, or direct impact on every single life that is in UK and around the world. So therefore, we need to take different actions, rather than just close our eyes and follow whatever the government is saying and just keep following that. I think it's about time we should actually look into our own systems and see whether we can improve health wise, and then whether we can help the people before they can put things in place and actually make it compulsory for us, we need to speak up. We as nation has to come together. There is no color, gender, or race, religion, or age, or anything like this discrimination. Everybody has a responsibility, and as a nation we need to come out and we need to speak up as how we feel and how we can support each other without having to put everybody at risk, and without being the lab rats, and without the government testing us and on us. Thank you very much for your time. I hope the video has helped to sort of like maybe put some questions in your mind, and hopefully you can try and find the answers for yourselves. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to follow us, and ask questions so we can actually try and find the answers for you. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you. Allah Hafiz.